wonder what that sound is. Let's check. We gotta find out what it is. What's that mic? Not the first floor. Let's go. Okay. Second floor. Hey y'all, this is my friend Ellis. This is my friend Ellis from school, man. So Ellis, how you doing?
Good, man. Just chilling.
Alright, man. So what you doing? What you doing up here? You trying to make me look bad?
Nah, man. Nah. See, I'm just up here practicing, trying to get better. You know,
Alright, man.
like the acoustics in here.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So this is my friend Ellis. You guys, I told y'all about him. You know, but this is Project Sax, like you know, and we just, you know, sometimes we just play around. We just play, you know, just to play. So we're gonna do this episode. You know, we might have some little tutorial here and there. We might have some playing here and there. But as y'all know, I'm Devin. This is my friend Ellis. That's a chorus. It's called.
So it's hard to play soprano, the alto.
It's not. It's just like, all right, guys. When you, a lot of people ask you this question: is it harder to play soprano versus tenor versus alto? I think that it's not so hard. It's so much harder, but it's a whole nother body. So when you're playing, only thing that really matters is the mouthpiece comparison. The size of the mouthpiece is like, in comparison, it's like almost double on the alto, the size of this on the soprano. So when you're playing, you have to focus your armature and your air in a certain direction. And instead you have a broader, you know, width to blow your air into. But for the soprano, you have just this much space, and you know, after a certain point, you're either overblowing it or not blowing it at all. So, you know, it's hard. And sometimes you don't even get a sound. Like when I first had it, my mentor had a Ligature on his soprano, and I was like, are you serious? And see, the thing is, Ligacies are Ligacies no matter what, so it's gonna take a lot of air to blow like. But when I had it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna blow the soprano. And at first, it wasn't making no sounds. But since, you know, I focused my air at the right position at the right spot.
It's not.
Yeah, that's. Let's go. You know, the soprano is a B-flat sax, so it's not half the size of this alto. It's like 3/4 the size of this alto, but the inside, the width of the cylinder or the bell on the inside, it's pretty decent. It's bigger than a clarinet.
Yeah.
It's not, the width on the inside is bigger than a clarinet, but when it comes up here at the top, it tends to get clarinet size in the middle, and then you got like almost piccolo width at the top here. So generally that's how all saxophones are made. At the bottom, the bell bulges out, and then at the top it's narrow because of the, you know, the frequency that you want to hit. So it kind of mixes in the clarinet frequency with the saxophone frequency, and you know that's what you got. But it's a little bit higher than the clarinet, and since it's made out of brass instead of plastic, it's going to cut harder than the clarinet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Something simple. Some constant stuff. Round.
Okay.
You first. 1, 2, ready. Constant B flat, just round. 1, 2, hold on. Okay. Ready, and. goodness, my nose started. Yeah, she can play. I just never really opened her up. I just, I mean, like play though.
You need to. That's a sweet sax right there.
Yeah,
that's a sweet Ligature.
This is a perfect time to teach you some improv skills. Cool. Let's see, improv skills, one-on-one. Let's see, if you're playing a song, first thing you want to look at really is the key signature. And then if you're advanced, you look at the chord changes. Now, chord changes is something I'm still working on, so I'm not going to spew no hawk at y'all and say I'm a master at chord changes, because I'm not. But I know the basis of a key signature. So when my mentor was like, well, first off, Devin, you have to know, the major scales. And I was like, major scales? I'm going to keep talking to me. Check something real quick. I was like, the major scales? Oh, what you mean by the major scales? And he was like, you gotta know your major scales before anything. You gotta know. I was like, all right, Mr. B, all right, Mr. B. So I learned my major scales, and he was like, okay. And when I went back to my jazz band in school, I was like, okay, I know all my major scales now. And then Mr. Casey was like, okay, well, you can use the notes on the scale to play. Now start off with 3. And I was like, I want to start off with 3. So I was like, yo, well, let me start off with something, better. And he was like, no, start off with 3. And I was like, okay. And then I'm just sitting there soloing like this. And that's like 2 notes, and then at the end I'll add the third note. See, the only thing about it is I had a rhythmic value to it. And I just knew for a fact that if I had a rhythmic value, I would sound like something and something else. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put that rhythmic value to it, and I'm gonna try to make it sound different. And I was like, this 3-note thing is getting on my nerves. But he made me think in a way that if I can't do anything, do 3 notes. But he made me thirsty to want to learn more notes and play it in my solo. So I was like, what are these notes? He was like, well, you know your major scales, right? I was like, play the key signature. Any notes in the key signature. So say the song was in B flat, concert B flat, which is G for you, and which is C for me. That's no flat sharp for me. That's 1 sharp for you. So it's like, okay, well if I was on an alto, it would sound something like this in the key signature B flat. That's the scale. But when I played it in the song, I was like, oh, I'm lost, because the song changes. It doesn't stay, no matter what song you're playing, it's gonna differentiate each time, each different, like whether you go in a chorus, whether you go into something else, and it just felt like I was just playing random stuff. I didn't know no structure, nothing like that. So when he's like, okay, learn how to use space. I was like, what do you mean? If you're playing a solo, it's okay to use musical space, like so. That space in there, that's musical space. If you were playing a chord, say, play a G and just hold it out. Play a scale, put some changes in there so I can show you the differentiation. Alright. And see, me knowing that, I was like, okay, well, every time it changes, know the song. Don't just play. I learned later on that playing the solo is good, but knowing how the song goes before you play it is even better. Because you know how B flat solo goes. Yeah. It has a beginning, middle, and end. Well, I learned that all solos have beginning, middle, and end. It's a story. You're talking. Every lick has a beginning, middle, and end. You're talking. So when you talk to somebody, say you're solo, in reference to talking, if you're talking to somebody, you don't want to like that. You don't want to be talking and rambling and Ellis thinking, is he gonna take a breath? You don't want to do that. You want to know exactly what you're talking about, how to say it, and when to, take those breaths. I mean, people don't say, okay, you should take a breath here when you're talking. It's no set way to do that. It's no set, okay, take a breath here, take a breath here. When you say something long, you might run out of breath, take a breath. No, it's not a set way to take a breath. So in a solo, it's not a set way to really do the solo. There's methods. There's also, like I was telling you yesterday, there's methods, but then there's a time and place to break those methods to get exactly what you want. Now, playing over the key signature and the scale, that's the basic general gist of it. But once you get that, it's like, okay, play a B flat scale here. Play it a little, like quarter, hold notes. You notice how when I was playing over those, it's just note change.
Yeah, I heard each note change. Like every time I change a note, you would start off on that note I would change to, and then just start.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't really play towards that, but I just knew that you know that certain when you're playing notes and stuff like that, you know that certain notes hit somewhere with other notes bordering them, So yeah, that's pretty much the general gist of it. Like you have to, chord changes are a little bit more complicated than that. But it's the general gist of it. You have to, okay, if you're playing a B flat, I don't want to be sitting on the B flat with you. Yeah, I don't want to be sitting on the B flat with you. I know that the D, like if you're playing let's talk in alto, E flat. If you're playing the G, if you play that D sort of resolves that G. It's a part of the chord. So when you're playing it, it's like, okay, I want to go around that D a little bit. I want to float around that D a little bit. That's what I kind of think, if I'm ever thinking when I'm soloing. Like he asked me, Devin, do you think when you solo? No, I don't think when I'm soloing. It's not something that you just think about. You sort of feel it. It's like, okay, I have a feeling that, if he plays this or I hear this, I know what my saxophone will do when I press this or play this, and then that's generally how you want to feel. And then that's pretty much it. You just do what feels right. It's not a set method way, because when you were playing it, I went to chromatics. I put a little chromatics in there, I put half steps in there, I put whole steps in there. There's no set way of soloing. You don't really just like say, okay, well, I'm gonna play the scale over this and that's all. No, think of something else. And that's why you learn the blues scale, that's why you learn the bebop scales, that's why you learn, because they break out of tradition. They make the regular key, which you're used to, everybody used to hearing the key, but when you play a bebop scale over, it's exotic. It's like, hold up, what did he just play? So play a scale again. I'm gonna see if I can work out a blues scale like this soprano. I never really played one. Let me see.